I'll say this, that I was very proud of our response in the second half. You know, we came out, we were up 24-0, things were going well. We have some special teams miscues, let them get back in the game. They drive the field. They're in the third quarter. We were able to hold them out to a field goal, and it goes back and forth. And the biggest question mark I think our staff had is, how would we respond to some adversity when it got tight? And I'm very proud of that. Obviously, our defense did a lot of good things from an interception turnover standpoint. Getting 5 turnovers there was outstanding. We gave the ball back too much, unfortunately, and made the game closer to what it needed to be. So there's a lot of things to clean up. But the effort, the attitude, and their resourcefulness, the resiliency that we showed, I'm proud of that. We can build off of that. There's obviously a lot of things that we know we got to get improved on. But I was proud of that effort and coming out and fighting for 4 quarters. That's what we challenge them to do, and believe in each other. Don't waver, don't doubt. Continue striking that stone. That's our mindset, and they did a great job. And I'll say this: our fans that came out, y'all were awesome. Our student body was awesome. It was loud. You stayed involved. That lifted us up. And looking forward to hopefully this is the start of a beautiful relationship.
Before I ask you about the game, about just coming out here, getting your first win and your first game, Liberty head coach, and then your 100th career win as well.
Well, I didn't really know it was 100 until our chief of staff told me about it. I hadn't really thought about that. That's a credit to all the players that have been fortunate enough to coach and what they've been able to do. That's all them. I've lost a lot of games, to be honest with you, but very, very fortunate to be at some good places and with some great young men, and that's a credit to them. But the first one's always the hardest one, right? And because especially when you're new place and you have high expectations for yourself and your program, and we have obviously high expectations here, and so there was. This felt like my first game ever, to be honest with you, and hadn't felt that in a long time, and so and it was good to get that out of the way, and just because it's been a place here that dreamed about for a while, and then you're actually here and you're in that moment, and so you want to do well for the people that believe in you, and so that was I'm glad to get it out of the way. Now we can get back to sort of normal a little bit, I hope.
Caden Salter is your quarterback. We find that out as he comes out on the field. He ends up being your leading rusher. 11 of 20 passing, a couple of touchdowns, didn't turn it over today. How would you assess his performance?
Yeah, I thought that was the key. He did not turn it over. He took care of the football. He carried it a little loose sometimes. We got to fix that. But I thought he managed pretty well. There's some things that we can do better, he can do better, that we missed, that probably could have helped us in some situations there. But for first time at least in our offense and the things that we're asking him to do, very proud of the way he competed. He took care of the ball. He handled his business. He didn't get down on himself when he didn't make the plays that he needed to. And I thought he made pretty smart decisions with it. And we can build off of that. Obviously, we don't want him running the ball as much as he did. That was sort of some of what they tried to do with it a little bit. He obviously had some quarterback scrambles, and he did a nice job. But proud of how he managed our game. I thought he did a nice job of that, and we'll continue to build with it.
And Tegan Lindry, 2 field goals today, especially that one there at the end to make it a 2-score game. After seeing him hit that one from 36 earlier and then to hit the one from 37, how much confidence does that give you guys now as a coaching staff in him and knowing that you can end a game right there?
Well, it was good, obviously, because not slept well, and that was one of the reasons. And we got the first extra point, got tipped, and it went in, and then he knocked that one in, and you're feeling good. And I think even the third one that got blocked, obviously, just a terrible call by me there. Should have just probably went for it, but. It looked like he kicked that one pretty well, and then to knock that one in, you're nervous because if they block it again and return it, they're right back in the game. So there was a lot of trying to decide what I wanted to do there to be at the end, and we went in. Let's send him in, and he knocked it right in, and it was nice, and that's huge for his confidence. That's huge for our team's confidence as well, because they see that as well. They see the challenges that we had during practice and some of those things, but for him to come out and kick the ball really well, I'm proud of him, and we'll continue. He can build off of that because now that doubt that he might have had, he went out there and accomplished it, and so I'm thankful for him and just his steadfastness to be able to believe in himself enough, and he got the call today and did a nice job.
Jerome Jolly there, a young guy that hasn't played a ton of defensive snaps in his career, but he was on the field a lot tonight and and played, a lot of strong reps. Got 2 interceptions, PBU, also in the box there as well too. Just how big was his play today?
Yeah, he was tremendous. Jerome Jolly, he loves to play. Man, he's got a motor that's all the time. Sometimes that gets him in trouble, and he gets down on himself. But we had some specific packages in when he was. I mean, y'all probably saw him at deep safety, and you're probably scratching your head going, "Why's the linebacker at deep safety?" But we had that plan the whole time. We knew he was going to get picked. But I thought he played with confidence. I thought he stayed within himself. He's an emotional young man. He didn't let his emotions get the best of him when he wasn't playing the way he was capable of. So very pleased with him, and really just that overall effort. I thought we played well. We got to clean up some stuff, obviously, no doubt over there. But when you get 5 turnovers, you should win the game. You should win the game by a lot. And if we wouldn't have turned it over and had our special teams blunders, I'm not sweating as much right now. I'm panicking, and nervous, all that, because it's an easier win. But hey, I liked how he played and how he competed for us.
How much did that blocked field goal, you mentioned it there in your opening statement, but how much did that blocked field goal kind of shift the momentum of the game, really change the direction of the game, and also how pleased were you with the guys responding to that adversity?
Well, it changed it completely. One, we ran a play there on 3rd down, and it was a no play, and the guy jumped off sides, and we're supposed to snap the ball. It would have been an automatic 1st down. That was our plan. We didn't do it, so we didn't execute that. And then I'm thinking, all right, 30-something seconds left. Let's get some points. We'll go up by 20 going into the locker room. You feel good. And then obviously that happens. And so, that was the biggest question mark, honestly, I felt with our team here is when things aren't going our way, will we keep fighting or will we tuck our tails, And look, they drove the whole field there. We were fortunate to get a penalty on the 1-yard line, and knock them back, and we held them to a field goal attempt, and we were able to drive and go score to give us that separation we needed. So we answered it, and then it was back and forth. But I'm pleased that they stayed together. It's easy to point fingers and go, here it was easy to do that, and we challenged them a long time. We've been challenging them since fall camp started. That we've been through a lot together. We've been through a lot together here, and just challenges that we faced on and off the field. And I told them, last night that you've shown that you're resilient, and it's going to have to show up today. And when we was up 24-0, I was like, hope it don't show up till next week. But it showed up, and our guys, it wasn't ugly, or it wasn't pretty, but it's always your baby.
The decision to put Caden in as your starting quarterback today, when did you know in training camp that he was going to be the one, and what was that element that put him over the top in your eyes to put him in?
When did I say I was going to announce it? Do y'all remember?
It's game time, basically.
Well, I mean, when I said I was going to make one internally, I think it was like Wednesday before game week, so probably 2 weeks ago. So we knew then. We made a decision on a Tuesday after a practice. We had Monday off, went through everything. We had a Tuesday practice before we got into Bowling Green prep. We made that decision Tuesday night, and he was the starter starting that Wednesday and got all those practices. And what it came down to, obviously, we kept statistics and all those different things, and he did a nice job there. But at the end of the day, we're trying to win a conference championship, and we thought if we can continue to develop him and he continues to build confidence, that he gives us that chance to do that. And so that was our mindset with that. We knew he was going to make some mistakes and some things, but what we wanted to do is build confidence in him. He has a habit of looking over his shoulder and, oh man, bad play, and world's ending, and whatever. And we told him up front, you're the guy. I'm not looking to yank you out. We're going to fight with it through you. And he's took a hold of that. And there's going to be still learning curves with him, but really like how he stayed composed today.
Coach, you mentioned Caden's confidence, and so something that we noticed is that he is a completely different player than he was last year. He looks more confident, he looks more composed, especially on that touchdown pass to Blue where he just dropped it right in there. Can you talk more about his improvement and how he's grown as a player?
I've obviously not known him long, but since we got here and I really started spending time with him in January, the December time, I didn't get a lot of time with him. I don't know how much he prepared to be the best. He has a lot of talent, but I don't know how much he put in to really want to be the best quarterback possible. And through the spring, he started learning that, hey, it takes a lot of preparation to be the guy. And from the end of spring practice through fall camp, he was our number one guy as far as watching video. That's where his turns happen. He's really started preparing and getting better there. He's still, obviously, he's got some things that we've got to clean up and sharpen. But I was very pleased. That's where he's made the biggest impact. And if he'll continue to do that, now the challenge right now is he's feeling good about himself. All All right, he can't go back to being okay. He's got to continue to be hungry, continue to lock in, and I know he will. I got confidence in that. But that to me is where he's really made a big a 180. Is that he's I don't want to say he started caring. I'm not saying he didn't care about football, but what it takes to be a high level quarterback. He has the talent to do that, but you got to have more than that. And you got to have the guys in the locker room saying that's our guy. And I don't know if that was the case, but he's been really tremendous. I'll use an example. We were before class started, and we said, hey guys, we got to go to class. He was the one that stood up and said, hey, go to class, be on time. In the spring, if he'd have said that, I probably passed out. And so he's made some good strides on that, and he's got to continue to do that.
Kendi was unable to go today. What's his status?
He's week to week. Got a injury Monday game week, and a lower body, and just we weren't tackling or anything. He was sort of just standing, taking, doing something. He got clipped a little bit, and so he's got a lower body injury, and it's a week thing. We're hoping that it heals properly. He'll be back. And hopefully sooner rather than later, but we're going to take the cautious road. I mean, I'm not anticipating next week, but we'll see how his recovery comes. But he'll be back sooner rather than later.
Coach, I was just going to follow up on that. How do you feel the rest of the defensive line fared, especially with him out body? I got a lot of snaps.
I thought some of those guys did a good job. The biggest concern I have right now is we obviously got pressure and made the quarterbacks. That was good, but they ran the ball for way too many yards. And some of it was on some option stuff. You see option every day. So I was a little upset about that. And so we just didn't do some detailed things there. But I thought they played hard. I really did there, and we had a good rotation. We obviously missed Kendi, because he's a presence. He's really good. But those other guys, stepped up, and we had a lot of young guys play. Larry Jones, who we think is going to play for us, he didn't play this game either. He was in concussion protocol and so missed, and so we think we'll get him back. But T.J. Bush played as a freshman, so we'll get better there. And then when Kendi comes back, these guys will have some good experience, and that'll make us deeper.
Coach,
I can stay all day. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know you got to go celebrate. That's good stuff. Right. Coach, if you could talk a little about the atmosphere today, did it meet your expectations or did it exceed your expectations? Just your thoughts about the atmosphere out there today, the nearly 19,000 fans.
Well, obviously, what do we seat? 25? We want 25. All right, we want 25. But the ones that were here were phenomenal. They were phenomenal. The home crowd behind us, they were into it. Our student body was outstanding, and I was excited about it. I mean, you run out and you got a huge roar. The band was tremendous. They did a fantastic job. The cheerleaders, all the different things that we had going on. I thought they were all awesome, and it was loud, and they stayed loud, and they stayed through the game, and we probably made them stay through the game because we were so bad going back and forth. They didn't want to miss what was going to happen. But I was really pleased with our fans and our student body. And now the challenge is, right, as we go into next week with another home game. First Conference USA game, and it's a big deal, and so it's a history setter, right? This is first time ever. You only get a chance to do that, and so I hope we pack it out. But the ones that were here were awesome. They were loud. I'm sure we made them a little nervous, but we're used to that, so we'll get better.
Coach, there was a moment of silence today for Taj, and I couldn't help but notice there were some players who were wearing buttons with his picture on just for remembrance. Can you talk about that one final tribute to him today before you start the season?
Yeah, I mean, we were obviously inside during that time frame, but obviously he's a big part of our program, and made an impact while he was here, and that was a great way to honor him and the impact that he made. Our players, obviously, a lot of them are close to him, and just wanted to, remember him by doing that. And we've had other family members make some our teammates' families make some wristbands and different things. So that was a nice gesture by our administration.
And for those players who were close to him, you just kind of talk about those last couple of weeks, just paying final tribute and letting the family know that he was loved here.
Yeah, it was obviously a challenge, but they've done a tremendous job of staying in contact with the family and trying to obviously honor him by the way they play, and that's something that they want to do, and they talk about that, especially the offensive line because it's a tight-knit group, and I thought that that was a motivational. Not that they're thinking about that out there, but they obviously want to do well, and they want to know that and their family that hey, we're playing for them.
Thanks.